If you would check your cell phones to make sure that they're off or silenced. First, we have the unity statement of being in the hymnal. There is but one and one power in this church, in our lives, and in the universe, God, the good, the omnipotent, and the five unity principles. Number one, God is absolute good, everywhere present. Number two, God lives in us, therefore we are inherently good. Number three, we are co-creators with God and create our experiences through our thoughts. Number four, prayer is creative thinking that heightens our connection with God mind. Number five, it is not enough to simply know these principles. We must live the truths we know. And our first hymn is Lift Every Voice and Sing. If you didn't get a copy when you came in, anybody need a copy? And if you want to say
time of meditation. Where we go within and reflect on the words that were sung. Truly powerful words. So I invite you to go inwards in contemplation and reflection. For there is a path that has been trod before us, taken by our elders. Our elders learned so much during their time here. And through all the struggles and triumphs, was consciousness gradually elevated. And so now it is our time. And so reflect, for you serve a purpose in this time. You have a song to sing in this time. And this song must be sung by you if it is to have any voice at all. Within this consciousness, within this collective consciousness known as humanity. This song is necessary. It is needed. It is a thread, an important, necessary strand in the fabric of this reality, of this time, of this consciousness. So I invite you to reflect on that which is at your core. Reflect on whether it is being given a voice, whether you are expressing what the world desperately needs to hear and experience. Know that all beings are necessary. All beings are truly you to simply abide in these tranquil moments, experience beautiful contemplations, reflections of your purpose, of your voice, of your song. Know that all minds are one, and that oneness exists. As the true reality. I invite you to contemplate these things. And as our minds are joined, know that it is my intention to bring forth a message this Sunday, a message to reflect what our ancestors would say to us were they here today. To bring forth new ideas and new insights. Within your very own consciousness of what is within you to express in this world. So I invite you to join me in that intention. See yourself being lifted up. The raising of an understanding that was always there at your core. It was always there within you. And see that understanding being integrated into where you are today. See new insights, realizations coming from that understanding. Feel the gratitude that you would feel upon experiencing new information, new ideas, new epiphanies. Feel that gratitude for those new ideas, those epiphanies right now. Know that where two or more gather together, everything is possible. Know that within you is a truth, a remedy, whatever name you choose to put to it. This remedial aspect, which consists of your voice, must be sung. If the world is to experience healing, it comes from your core. Let us feel grateful for what is about to be demonstrated right here, right now. This Sunday morning in this sanctuary, we have created a mastermind consciousness of energy. Thank you so much, Spirit, for so much. Thank you for your ever-increasing and unceasing flow of good in our lives at all times. We are so grateful for this time to come together as community. Thank you for the abundance that expresses in our lives at all times, and we would will to see more of it. Thank you, Spirit, so much for so much. In the name and after the loving nature of the source of principle. And so it is. Amen. Would everyone please stand while we sing another goodie. Everybody knows this. I mean, you know it was handed. We have it, but everybody knows this song. This little light of mine. Everybody knows this song. Everybody knows that song.
If they don't, they should.
So how are we doing this Sunday morning?
Good.
All right, all right. Are we ready? Okay. You said it. So here we go. The name of my talk is Lift Every Voice, Moving Forward with Integrity. Lift every voice, moving forward with integrity. This is Black Heritage Month. Black History Month. And this is a wonderful Sunday. And so I really reflected, because this is not the easiest talk to give, because it represents so many things to so many different people. It's a complicated story, complicated history. There's so many highs and lows. It's like a roller coaster ride. So many things. And it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong, it's beautiful. And it's still continuing. It's still continuing right now. And in this complicated story, you have joy and sorrow. You have victory and sadness. In this complicated story, you have heroes and you have martyrs. There's so much in this complicated story that is Black History Month, Black Heritage Month. And so, I wanted to really reflect on what our ancestors, and when I say our ancestors, it doesn't matter what color you are. Because our ancestors still were part of a collective consciousness, you see. They were part of a collective consciousness that struggled, that did the best that they could with what they knew. And there are many things that they struggled with that we're struggling with today. We must not think that somehow the challenge is gone, the challenge is over. No, it's right there. So I had to ask myself, what would our brothers and sisters from this history that represented in America 400 years and counting, what story would they, what would they speak to us? What would they say to us if the dead could speak to us right now, here today? What would they tell us? What wisdom would they share with us? Where would they advise us based on what they had gone through? So I had to really think about that. Because see, when you go to the other side, see, your eyes are open. It's like, you awaken from this dream. And so many things are revealed to you that right now are hidden. Like the fact that we are one people. Regardless of the complexion of a person, that we are one people. And see, our ancestors, like us, when they were here in these human forms, they didn't realize that, though, you see. They didn't realize that. Maybe some of them did, but for the most part, they didn't. And it was because they were dealing with a sickness that we're still dealing with today. A sickness that finds different ways to express itself. It has little toys that it can play with. If I were to call this sickness by a name, I would actually say it would be called separation consciousness. You see, this separation consciousness has to have an avenue in order to express itself. And I've said this here before, that it doesn't matter even if we all were the same color. Separation consciousness will still find a way to express itself. It needs to express itself. You see, when we have unhealed thoughts, unhealed ideas about ourselves, you see, we need this venting mechanism in order to take out and exact anger and unhealed energy that we have within ourselves on another, to create a them, an idea of a them. It is from the pathway of apathy that all sorts of horror can be then exacted. We can justify that horror and things like that. That's the whole key to separation consciousness, to create an idea of a them, when in truth, there is no them. There is no them. And so, yes, I chose this time on Black History Month, Black Heritage Month, to share this. But this is not a new idea. This is not even an idea of 400 years. This is an idea that's been ingrained in humanity because, again, it's a separation consciousness. So, I'm going to go back 2,000 years ago. In the book of Matthew, chapter 15, verses 21 through 28, where our elder brother, Rabbi Yeshua, was dealing with the same thing, separation consciousness. You see, back then it was like either you were a Hebrew or you were not a Hebrew. You see? Either you were Hebrew or you were, they had different names for not Hebrew, like Canaanite, Gentile, things like that, so that they could have apathy towards people who were not Hebrew. And so in this book of Matthew, chapter 15, verses 21 through 28, our elder brother Rabbi Yeshua was in separation consciousness himself. He was walking and he was being pursued by a woman who was attempting to get healing for her daughter. And she was saying, I need help. My daughter needs to be healed. And so at first he ignored her. He kept on walking. But she continued to pursue. And so his disciples then came up and said, send her away because she keeps shouting after us. And so finally he acknowledged her presence. And then he told her, I am not here for you. I came for the lost sheep of the children of Israel. That is why I'm here. She would not be denied, though. She continued and said, help me, my daughter is sick. And so then he continued with apathy and said, it is not right to take the children's food. And he spoke in metaphors. It's not right to take the children's food and throw it to the dogs. And so this woman responded back in metaphors back to him and said, oh yeah? Well, even the dogs eat the food from the master's table. And so that opened his eyes. He stopped right there and said, woman, great is your faith. Let it be so done as you wish. And her child was healed instantly. And see, what really makes a teacher is not that they don't ever make any mistakes. What really makes a teacher is that they can assess when they're in error consciousness and then make different choices in the future, you see? That's what really makes a teacher. And so, Rabbi Yeshua, if you look in the same book of Matthew, chapter 25, just 10 chapters later, verses 31 through 47, he then begins to speak about where the Son of Man will come. And there will be a great separation. And in this separation, when the Son of Man comes, there will be a separation between those who were there for humanity and those who rejected it. And so he will take the one, and he used the metaphor for those who were there for humanity. He used the metaphor of sheep. And for the ones who rejected humanity, he used goats. And he said, for the sheep, he said, the king will then say, you have been there for my people. He said, you have been there for me. He said, when I was hungry, you gave me food. When I was naked, you gave me clothing. When I was in prison, you visited me. He said more, but then they responded, the people who he used the metaphor for sheep, they responded and said, when did we do these things, Lord? When did we give you food when you were hungry? When did we visit you in prison when, and take care of you when you were sick? When did we give you clothes when you were naked? And he said, very truly I say to you, that what you do for the least of these who are also members of my household, you do for me. That's what he said. Now what caused this change in Rabbi Yeshua? What caused this change? This was a complete 360 from the person that was ignoring this woman who needed healing for her child. This interaction with this woman opened his eyes that this was a ministry so far beyond Hebrews. It had the potential to impact an entire world. And he began to see things differently. He began to give different, more inclusive parables, like the one of the Good Samaritan. We then began to include people that were not Hebrew. He began to stop looking at people as them. He began to eliminate that them from his consciousness, you see. He began to get that out of there. He began to teach a ministry of love at that point. Talking about loving your enemies and all these things, you see. So what can we take from all of this? You see, what can we take from this? Where do we go from here? See, because separation consciousness has, as I stated before, has many toys that we can play with that distract us and prevent us from seeing that we are really one people. You see, one of these toys, this toy that we refuse to put up on the shelf and leave it alone, is this idea that there are sub-races of humans within the human race. Like there's a black race and a white race and an Asian race and all these different races. That is a lie. How we all came to be, we all originated in Africa. All of our people originated in Africa. Now, if you find that this triggers you, then I would invite you to look at that opportunity to heal. Whatever it is that you have within you that wants to disassociate from that. But at the same time, see, it was through this migration, this great migration, because we all couldn't stay at that same place. We migrated. We wanted to migrate. We migrated all over the continent. And because these bodies were in different regions of the world, they adapted to their environment. It's called adaptation. It is adaptation that has created this beautiful different colors and things like that of people that we have, but we are still one people, you see? Yes, right. We are one people. Yes. And we must put that toy back up on the shelf and leave it alone. As a matter of fact, throw it away. Wow. We have to throw it away. Because what that toy is actually doing, it's putting us in boxes, you see. Right. It's putting us in boxes. It's actually creating a situation where the only people that we really want to interact with are people that are in the same box, you see. Yeah. That's what it actually does. It puts us in boxes, is what it does. That's what it does. You see, Rabbi Yeshua was in a box, you see. He was in a box. He was in a Hebrew box. You see? It wasn't until his interaction with this woman, which kind of got him to open his eyes, that, you know something? Wait a minute. I keep talking about my father, my father, my father. My father is the father of everybody. So these are all my brothers and sisters. Now, in truth, these bodies are just these bodies, but at the same time, you are really light. You are light. You are spirit and you are consciousness. You are light. That is who you really are. That is your true form. You are in these bodies for a time. So, I'm not going to spend too much more time on this because I didn't even start my timer. So I don't know how long I've been talking. I have no idea. Okay? So, but what else does it take? Because you see, this talk is also about moving forward in integrity, and that's one thing. We have to move forward in that type of integrity as far as knowing who we are, knowing that we are one people, and making sure that we understand that we are family. Now, being one people doesn't mean that we all get along, you see. Amen. Being one people doesn't mean that, you know, let's talk about your earthly family. Do you get along with all your cousins and uncles? You know you don't. You know you don't. You know you don't. And guess what? It's not going to do that, but I tell you what, when you have this understanding of family, when you understand that this is your family, see, there's this underlying connection that you actually have, you see. It doesn't mean that you're going to agree with on everything, but you have this underlying connection where it's like, this is still my family. You see? This is still my family. And my family is going to come before any type of difference, you see. You see? But there's other things too, brothers and sisters, as far as being in integrity. There's other things too, as far as being in integrity, moving forward in integrity. You know, we say that we want to experience this, we want to experience that, we want to experience these things in life, but at the same time, and I talked about this in my last talk, and I opened and talked about it a little bit, but what energy are you investing in, though, you see? You know, you say you don't like it when people judge. Nobody really likes to be judged. Nobody likes it when people judge them. No, but at the same time, if you are engaging in judgment, then that is not an integrity. You see, that's not an integrity with what you profess that you don't want to be, that you don't want to experience. So if you don't want to experience judgment, and yet you are judging people every chance you get, or when they're not looking, or you think they don't know, you're judging them. You're investing in this energy, though, you see. Amen. And so what you're doing is creating turmoil for yourself. And in truth, you're not going to be happy. You're not going to be happy. You will not be happy. So you have to, if there's certain things that are at your core. There's certain things that are at your core. Like at your core, you want to be happy in your own skin. At your core, you want to feel safe and be happy in your own skin. Well, if you want to be safe and be happy in your own skin, then why invest in the energy of criticizing people for how they are expressing themselves, you see? So what you do is you're contradicting and you're creating all these energies and you're attracting all these things that you don't want. You see? You're attracting all these things that you don't want to experience. So this is about being in integrity, because you know something? When we live in integrity with who we are at our core, life is beautiful. We experience so much true meaning and true happiness, you see, when we are in integrity with who we are at our core. And you know how you are. You know who you are at your core. You know who you are at your core. And it's important to be mindful of the energy that you're putting out into the universe, because it's always going to come home. This is an investment that will always yield a return. Just remember that. Just remember that. So, throughout my tenure at Unity of New Orleans, I've put together 6 steps for spiritual mastery. I'm not going to go through all of them like that, but at the same time, meditation is a good way to begin to look at some of those thoughts as far as wherever you might not be in integrity as far as your thoughts. That's a good time to basically just take time out, move into the silence, and see where it is that you may or may not be in integrity with your thinking. That's a good place to see. Take some time to see where you're not in integrity with your thinking. And then make a different choice. Think different thoughts. You see? Think different thoughts. Gratitude in order to raise the energy, raise the thoughts. If you say you want abundance in your life, you want abundance, you want to experience abundance, everybody's talking about they want abundance, they want to make more money, but at the same time you're looking at what you don't have, that's a contradicting energy to abundance. So we must stop saying that this is what we want, but at the same time we're investing though in something else. So yes, this requires accountability and being mindful of the energy that you are investing. This is very important, brothers and sisters, because you know something? You can live the life of your dreams no matter who you are right now. You just have to be mindful of the energy that you are putting into the universe. That's it. I would invite you to build a relationship with Spirit. Because you know something, in this world, there's going to be a lot of things that are scary. There's going to be a lot of things that are going to be frightening. The world can be very frightening. All the time can be very frightening, okay? And when you build a relationship with Spirit and begin to see the evidence of Spirit interacting in your life, you get a certain faith where you feel protected at some point. You feel safe at some point. Well, no matter what's going on, you know, even though you see, it's like looking outside the window and there's a hurricane outside your home, but it's nice and safe inside your home, but outside you see all kind of stuff going on. That's kind of what it is. You can see, but at the same time you feel safe. Right. You feel safe. So I would invite you to build a relationship with Spirit so you can feel that feeling. Because things can get kind of scary. They do. Begin to invest in prayer. Just like you talk to people, just like you talk to whoever, talk to Spirit and pray. Begin to tap into a divine aspect that actually knows how to connect the dots and things like that, knows how to get you out of certain predicaments and things like that, all sorts of things when you find yourself in like, you know, this area where you're just like blocked in or whatever, and this divine presence, which represents the greater you, right, will then begin to help you navigate out of there. And giving, that's right back to the investments. Whatever you give is what you're going to get. Amen. Whatever you give is what you're going to get. It's one way or another. Yes. And seeing the individual self as part of the whole self. Seeing the individual self as part of the whole self. You know, I had a lunch with a friend of mine. And so we were talking, and I was sharing about some of my, you know, the things that I wanted to do. And I'm really passionate about my ideas. And so I was just like, yeah, you know, and I was like, there's so many things that have my people deceived, you know. And so the whole purpose of my ministry is basically to help reveal these things that are deceiving my brothers and sisters, you know, so I can be a part of freeing my people. And so my friend was like, well, what people are you referring to when you say your people? And so suddenly I was like, you know, I hadn't realized, because, you know, I was basically coming from my own way of thinking. I hadn't realized that, you know, it could be construed that I was talking about people that look like me. Yes. And, you know, and see, you know, I said, no, I'm referring to all people. But see, all people is not good enough for me. All people is not good enough for me because, see, I take ownership of it. You know, these are my people. You see, these are my people. Not all people, my people. Yes, it's all people, but all people are my people. See, all people, there's no sense of ownership in that, you see? There's no ownership in that, you see? I'm not talking about the world, I'm talking about my world, okay?
There's a sense of ownership in that. You see, I belong to this world as this world belongs to me. You see,
Yes.
you see, there's an ownership. There's an ownership. I belong to my people as my people belong to me. You see, it's the same thing. So yes, I'm talking about all people as my people, and I don't care what color you are, and I don't care if you see me as your people or not. Because it's not contingent on how you see me.
Right.
You see? So I think I said enough. I'm gonna give everybody affirmation, but before I give everybody affirmation, let me say this. Being in integrity will completely take your life not just to the next level, but to the next 20 levels. Just being in integrity. Just being in integrity. We're not talking about the next level. We're talking about we're talking about quantum leap levels. Just being in integrity with who you are at your core. Who you are at your core has all of the necessary ingredients. It is exactly what you need to experience the kind of life that you want to live. And it also has exactly what this world needs in order to experience a remedial aspect, a remedial healing, as far as you singing your song that you were meant to sing. All right, so now I'm going to give everybody affirmation. All right. Okay. Everybody repeat after me. I affirm being in integrity.
I affirm being in integrity.
And that I will invest the same energy I desire.
And I invest the same energy I desire.
To receive.
To receive.
And this next statement. All people are my people.
All people are my people.
And with integrity.
And with integrity.
I affirm this truth that sets me free.
I affirm this truth that sets me free.
Brothers and sisters, you're going to be that light that your Father, Mother, God intended for you to be. Thank you.
That's my son. And now it's time for our tithes and offerings. And let us say the abundance blessing. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. In the name of the Father, in the name of the Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit, it is now and so now. Electronic giving is at the front desk in the lobby. Just scan the QR code. Copies of today's service are available on CD at the front desk. And please subscribe and like us on Facebook. Next Sunday, February 9th, Reverend Stephen Fleming will be facilitating our Sunday message, and see Thursday's newsletter for more details. Sunday, February 16th will be our last Sunday service for the month of February, as we will be closed the following 2 Sundays leading up to Mardi Gras. Please join us for King Cake that Sunday on the 16th in the family room immediately following the service. And you can see the newsletter for more details. If you're not signed up for the newsletter and would like to see the front desk, and you can scan the QR code or sign up electronically or manually fill out a card, and if you don't know, somebody will help you. Any new visitors today with us? Would you like to stand up? I know. So tell us your name.
Joanna, I'm already with vacationing from New York.
You're here from New York? Well, welcome. Thank you so much. That takes guts to stand up. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, good morning. I'm visiting also from New York.
New York to New Orleans. Prayer chaplains are available after the service. Our chaplains will participate with you in prayer in total confidentiality. They'll be in front of the altar, and please honor this sacred space and reserve any after-service conversations for the lobby or the family room. My name is Susie Miller-Hebert, and I'm one of the facilitators of our grief group on Thursdays, on the third Thursday of the month. I'm a member of the board of directors and a platform speaker here at Unity. And anyone that's interested in sacred service, it doesn't have to be every Sunday, or if you just want to help, please see me, see Stephen. We're always looking for people. And our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us.